What's up guys, Cryptic here, and for today's video, me telling you guys about my first time trying ketamine. And before I get into it, this ketamine story is 100% legal. Okay, I got it prescribed and I go into a doctor's office to do it. Okay, everything is legal. So YouTube, you can't age restrict this video. I mean, I guess you could technically age restrict it, but you can't get rid of it, okay? You cannot delete this fucking video, YouTube, okay? I'm watching you. Don't delete this shit, you fucker. So let's go and get in the story. So like I said, I got this legally prescribed to me. You go into a doctor's office and you do it in front of these doctors while they watch you. I mean, they don't watch you the whole time. They just go in there and give you a couple doses. They stay for a couple minutes and they let you sit in this room while they're outside. And if you need somebody, you could press this button and a doctor will come in. So I had been trying to get this appointment for fucking months, dude. Like my schedule with my work and the doctor's scheduling, it just wasn't matching up. But I was finally able to get some days off on the same days that the doctors, had an appointment for me. So I go on this day, right, and I don't know really what to expect. Like, I have done psychedelics like mushrooms, acid, and I've done a whole bunch of shit. But this ketamine was just different. It was a dissociative, and I had never done a dissociative before. If you guys don't know what a dissociative is basically a drug that makes it feel like your mind and body are separate. So drugs like ketamine, PCP is in that class, DXM is in that class. There's a couple other drugs that are in that class. They're called dissociatives, and I had never tried a dissociative before. So I go into this little room inside the doctor's office, and they have this TV on with like really tranquil, relaxing music, right? And I don't know, I don't really like that shit. I mean, I guess it could relax some people, but I don't know, like that tranquil music shit, I don't know about you guys, but it never really calms me down. I just don't like it. I don't know why. It just weird to me. I don't really like that like tranquil music. Like, I don't know, it kind of puts me off. But so they actually do 4 doses of like a nasal spray. It's not a IV. I know some places have IV. It's 4 doses of a nasal spray. So they come in, start with the first one. You do 2 sprays, one in one nostril and one in the other nostril. So I start by doing one in one nostril, one in the other. And I was about to rub my gums. I'm like, oh shit, wrong drug. I'm just fucking around. But I do these 2 sprays and I give it back to her and she's like, okay, we'll come back in a couple minutes. If you need something, press this button. I'm like, okay. So I'm sitting back, relaxing. You could actually watch your phone. You can listen to music. You can do whatever you want. They're pretty much, the only thing they said is don't put on anything that might give you like a quote unquote like bad trip or whatever. But I don't know. I could fucking really watch anything on psychedelics. Like that shit never really fucked with me. So I do these 2 sprays of the nasal spray and I wait about 5-10 minutes. I'm not necessarily feeling anything yet. I can feel like that there is a drug in me that is working its way towards my brain, if you know what I mean. But I wasn't actually feeling it yet. So I kick back in this chair in the doctor's office and I start watching King of the fucking Hill, bro. Legendary show. The new reboot is actually going to be coming. Oh, it's actually not a reboot. It's actually a new season, but I call it a reboot. It's actually going to be coming out soon. So I was pretty excited for that. So I've been watching a whole bunch of King of the Hill clips and shit on YouTube. And at this point, I do feel something. It's like a slight alcohol buzz. That's the best way I can describe it. Like you had 1 or 2 little shots, not big shots. Like you had 1 or 2 little shots and you're starting to get that loose feeling. I kind of felt like that. I was like, okay, all right. This is kind of starting to feel something. So she comes in with the next nasal spray and I do right in both nostrils. After about 5 or 10 minutes of that, I can start to feel it now. It's not super strong, but I can tell I am under the influence of a substance, right? I start to feel kind of numb. Like my mouth kind of feels a little numb. It almost feels like, when you're laying on your hand or laying on your arm and it kind of goes numb. It kind of felt like that. Not super strong like that, but it felt like that throughout my body. And that makes sense because ketamine is anesthetic as well. It stops pain and numbs you. And at this point, I could tell, okay, I'm starting to feel it now, right? So I'm kicking back. At this point, I'm watching my phone, but like I'm kind of in my own head while I have the phone playing. I got my earbuds in, and I'm kind of just kind of thinking, right? So I'm starting to feel it now, and I'm kind of just kicking back, watching my phone. I just locked my phone actually and just let YouTube play because it kind of got to a point where my vision wasn't fucked up, but I could tell I was starting to like, it was like I was vibrating. Like I don't even know how to describe it. Like my whole body was like woo, 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 woo. So like I locked my phone, closed my eyes. Like, all right, I'm starting to feel it now. And I closed my eyes, bro, and it's just like, you're not necessarily hallucinating per se, but it's just like you can vision what you're thinking about inside your mind, inside your head. Like it was crazy, man. Like I don't know how to describe the feeling. It wasn't bad. It was just super unique. I had never felt this before. So I'm relaxing, kicking back in this chair. I'm like, damn, this is fucking strong, right? Then they come in with the third one. And at this point, I'd probably say I'm about a 7 out of 10, like on the effects. So I'm really starting to feel it. Then they come in, right? They come in with a third dose, and at this point, I feel so numb. Like, I bet I look like when she handed me the nasal spray, because she hands it to you and you do it yourself, I bet I look like a fucking robot, dude. Like, that's a common thing with people on ketamine, that they walk like a robot or shit like that. They grab things like a robot, because, like, you feel so numb, like, your motor controls are just fucked up, you know what I mean? And then she comes in with the third one, like I said, right? She hands it to me. I probably grabbed it like a fucking robot. It felt so weird trying to put this nasal spray in my nose while I was fucked up on ketamine like this. It just felt so weird, man. I was like I felt like a robot. I know I keep saying that, but that's really what it felt like, man. It was crazy. So she gives me the third one, and I do the spray, and that was the one that sent it, bro. I remember I did the nasal spray, I handed it back to her, and I remember thinking, oh God, yeah, that fucking did it. And I closed my eyes. It totally felt like my mind and brain were totally separate. Like, it felt like my body was sitting in the chair, and my mind, or my brain, whatever the fuck you want to call it, was kind of just floating in the room, just floating about. Like, it was a really cool feeling. Like, I know some people maybe, like, you know what I mean, they don't like certain highs, and some people might not like this high, but I feel like it's not as easy to freak out on as mushrooms or acid or anything, because, like, it kind of slows you down a little bit, so, like, it kind of calms your anxiety a little bit in a way. But I don't know, some people might not like it. So I remember sitting there, and I was ketamined out, bro. I was ketamined out. Like, I remember opening my eyes, and, like, you know when you wake up at a friend's house or something, or, like, you just wake up in the middle of a nap, and you're, like, looking around, you're like, and you can't tell where you're at for a second? Like, you have to keep closing and rubbing your eyes and be like, fuck, where? And then you're like, oh, okay, that's right, I fell asleep here, or that's right, I'm at a friend's house. It felt like that. Like, I opened up my eyes, and I was, like, looking at the door and the blinds on the window that was outside of the doctor's office right there. So I was just ketamined out, bro. Sitting there in the chair, like I said, it felt like my mind and body were separate. It felt like I was like one giant vibrating being. It's pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. It was pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. So, you know, I'm sitting there enjoying it for a little while, dude. Honest, and here's the craziest part about ketamine, dude. I didn't mention this yet. The craziest part about this whole thing is the time dilation. I remember looking at my phone, I think it was 9:24 a.m., and I closed my eyes, and it felt like I had them closed for about, dude, I'm not joking, it felt like I had my eyes closed for like 15-20 minutes. I look at my phone again, it had only been like 3 or 4 minutes, dude. I'm like, what the fuck? This is crazy. Like, the time dilation on ketamine is crazier than any other psychedelic or any other thing that I've ever done. It's fucking nuts. So she comes in with the last dose, and at this point, I am like, I mean, I can talk, but I probably sound like this. Oh, thank you. I'm going to put the spray in my nose. Okay, I didn't sound autistic, but I sounded something like that. So yeah, I do these last 2 sprays, and oh my God, holy shit. That was my last dose, and I sat there. I think I sat there for another hour and a half, 2 hours, because you have to sit at the doctor's office for 3 hours, and then once you're sobered up, they let you go. Dude, I was not sobered up when they let me go. So I'm sitting there, almost K-holed out. I mean, I wasn't K-holed out, but I could feel like if I had a little bit more, I would have for sure entered a K-hole. Like, I have never experienced that, and I never knew what it was like. So when I hear people talk about it, I'm like, man, that sounds crazy. What was it like? And I finally experienced it. It was like, honestly, if I would have done like 2 more of those nasal spray things, I probably would have went into a K-hole, bro. Not even fucking lying. Like, it was crazy. So yeah, I sit there for about another hour and a half, and they were supposed to keep me for another like 2.5 hours. But they came in, and I was still, I mean, I was starting to come down a little bit, but I was still fucked up on it, right? And like, okay, here, sign this. I'm like, sign this? I'm fucking fucked up right now. I probably can't even sign anything, right? I'm like, you could probably put on this piece of paper, you will eat my shit for the rest of your life from my toilet bowl. And I probably still would have signed it because I was fucked up. So yeah, I signed this paper, and that was it. They're like, okay, you're good to go. And I'm still like, I'm probably still at like an 8 out of 10, like how I'm feeling the ketamine. So I'm like, all right, thank you guys, see you next time. And I'm like walking like a fucking robot. I mean, it wasn't that bad. I was able to control myself, but I mean, it felt like I was, right? And I remember I got to the stairs. I was like, whew, stairs. Whew, my arch enemy. But I was able to get down the stairs without fucking falling down and fucking fracturing my fucking butthole. You know what I mean? But yeah, that was my story about my first time trying legal ketamine, right? Legal, YouTube. So you can't do anything about it, YouTube. Go fuck yourself. But yeah, honestly, there's a lot of medical benefits about ketamine. You guys can do your research, but like, you know, it helps anxiety, people with depression, people with suicidal ideations. It's a really misunderstood medicine that a lot of people look at like, oh my God, horse tranquilizer, what the fuck are you doing? But like, it really does have a lot of medicinal benefits if you don't abuse it. But yeah, whenever I got out, man, it felt like my mind was reset. Like I was able to look at certain shit that bothered me from a different perspective. And I feel like that's the biggest thing that ketamine allows you to do for depression, is it kind of allows you to look at your situation from a different perspective and be like, oh man, I can see it from a different point of view now, and it makes me feel better. You know what I mean? So it is a really interesting drug that has a lot of good benefits if you don't abuse it. But yeah, that was my story about my first time trying legal ketamine. Legally. Let me know what the type of videos you guys want to see, story videos, weed videos, you know what I mean? I want to make some more interesting new videos for you guys. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hit the like and subscribe button if you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.